ending the gaming stream and starting the news stream here. Alright, so, yeah, hey YouTube, welcome to the news stream. I finished the gaming stream, you can go check that out if you want, in the gaming channel for Cinco de Mayo 2021. Yeah, I forgot to switch over before, on YouTube to this, to the news stream, but here we go. We're in the middle of reading about the FARC in Colombia amidst this unrest that's happening from the general public. I didn't get too far into the article before I remembered that I'm supposed to stop the gaming stream and restart the other stream for the news. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to drink all this tequila earlier. Shit. God damn it. Alright, that doesn't work. I need to go from the bottom. I'm gonna eat these pistachios while I'm reading the news. Or you just haven't drunk enough. I'll drink to that. Feliz Cinco de Mayo. Feliz cumpleaños 203 Karl Marx. Fucking, I swear I wouldn't be coughing if it wasn't drinking through this fucking bandana and inhaling the tequila fumes that soak into the bandana. Alright. These three men, Miguel Botache Santillana, alias Gentil Duarte, and then Genaro Garcia Molina, better known as Johan. How the fuck do you pronounce that? J is a H sound, and then H is silent in Spanish. Hon 40 and Nestor Vera, alias Ivan Mordisco. Those are these three men currently the list of Colombia's most wanted and control large parts of drug trafficking networks in the south of the country. For over a year now, they have coordinated efforts to bring together the disparate pockets of dissident FARC units into a single fighting force. Senior demobilized FARC sources, speaking on the condition of anonymity, believe their absence from the video is telling. They say it shows divisions over access to the dissidents' share of Colombia's lucrative drug trafficking routes, and it also signals a more general disagreement over the role drugs might play in this new insurgency. This apparent friction between senior dissident commanders could lead to bloody infighting, these FARC sources warned. Such rivalries are unlikely to attract ex-combatants to their cause. Despite the fears, who's saying this? They don't say who this is a quote of. Despite the fears of a new insurgency, a fragmented movement of FARC dissidents poses less of a threat to Colombia than the FARC did in its heyday. The relationship between Colombia's leftist insurgencies and the illicit drug trade is complex. Producing and trafficking cocaine became a reliable way to fund the FARC's rebellion in the 1980s and 1990s, which led to questions about the sincerity of the guerrillas' ideology. Sure enough, after the videos released last week, President Ivan Duque was quick to refer to Marquez and the other commanders as narco-terrorists, but it would be inaccurate to discount their political motivations entirely. What is this meme shit? I mean, I know it's John 40, it's just spelled fucking weird because it's JHON 40. What the fuck? This song is Lev Yashenko. Dien Lobed, right version, Deep Dark Dungeon. That's written in Russian, by the way. I know how to phonetically read Russian, but I don't speak Russian. I think it's just a meme song.
Flash of spanking.
The fuck? Who the fuck who's queuing these fucking songs? I think it's Excel3V in my Twitch chat is queuing all these meme songs. Alright, sure. You're right, shit is wilding in Colombia, Cap. And welcome back, by the way. Alright. Alright, this is gonna be, I'm gonna do a shitty job of the news today, because I'm a little tipsy. Alright. Figures from peace advocacy groups show that the vast majority of the former FARC rebels are complying with the peace deal, but some of the 13,000 demobilized guerrillas, frustrated by a lack of promised vocational training and reintegration programs, have already returned to the jungle. Estimates put the current number of dissidents between 1,000 and 3,000. That's a lot of militants to have to deal with. According to the Colombian Organized Crime Observatory, El Rosario University in Bogota, FARC dissidents are distributed across 37 different militant and criminal groups across the country. Well, okay, that sounds like they're pretty severely split up, so maybe not such a big threat. Let me move over a little bit so I'm not blocking the chat. Or blocked by the chat, rather. 37 different militant and criminal groups across the country and 18 departments in 120 municipalities. These pockets of unrest have taken several different forms, some closer to the guerrilla predecessors than others. They also vary widely in terms of numbers, armed capacity, leadership, and their alliances or rivalries with other armed actors such as the National Liberation Army, or ELN, of Colombia's largest remaining guerrilla group. I like the song. Even if it's like meme shit, I like the song. I was gonna revise, then I realized I can't be bothered. I don't know, that was some meme song that got queued up. I have an open queue for the auto DJ, so anybody can post in my Twitch chat and queue up music. You just type !SR and then type the search terms or the link on YouTube or on SoundCloud, and it'll queue it up in the DJ. We've got XL_3V queuing up a whole bunch of meme songs right now, it looks like. Seems pretty based.
Dungeon Master.
Gachi Muchi, is that the name of the song? I don't know. Alright, whatever. I'm gonna keep reading the news. Oh fuck, did Rupley lose its feed? No, it just went down for a second. Alright, we got the cops out now. Wait a minute. Oh damn, you can see right through the green parts of my shirt. Alright, since the demobilization of FARC in 2017 under the terms of the peace accord, Colombia has faced a rapidly evolving landscape of new criminal alliances and feuds. This led last year to the first rise in homicides in Colombia in a decade. Many analysts draw a distinction between FARC dissidents and what are often called the FARC successors. The former include remnants of the leftist rebels that existed before the 2017 demobilization. The latter is made up of a new generation of criminals from ex-combatants who have abandoned the peace process's reintegration programs to members of youth gangs and right-wing paramilitaries. Alright, let me turn the volume down on this because that is a very disruptive song. The Gopnik tunes? I don't know. I'm not up on all the memes, man. I'm a millennial, but I guess I'm a boomer at heart.
Do you like what you see?
Alright, here we go. There's also a more overlooked element of the FARC's insurgency at play. For decades, the guerrilla movement, based on the country's rural and largely neglected corners, was opposed supported by urban militias that provided intelligence and logistics support. They acted as a severe force, a reserve. Wow, I read reserve as severe. I've had a little too much to drink, I think. They acted as a reserve force that lived at home with their families but could be called on for help or even to carry out attacks. Just under 3,000 of these militia members demobilized in 2017, apparently less than half of the total that existed, according to FARC sources, who claim these urban networks continue to operate in the shadows today and could support Marquez's call to arms. Get wrecked, Putin bot. Putin bot tried to queue up Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up" and it didn't fucking work. We need rum. Rum is a based proletarian liquor. It's the liquor of pirates. Let me try.
Deep, dark fantasies.
Oh shit. I'm sorry. Sorry for what? Sorry for what? I ripped the skin. Sometime on.
Alright. I've pranked myself since Putinbot failed to prank me with Rick Astley. And I'll remind you that anybody can queue up songs to the auto DJ. Just type !SR and then the name of the song or the address on YouTube or SoundCloud in the Twitch chat. What the fuck is this nonsense? Farewell to Gotchi Quartermaster. So this is, it must be using the gay porn sounds with the, it's got those male symbols bracketing farewell to Gotchi. Who does all these fucking memes with the porn sounds?
Oh yeah.
God damn that! Oh yeah, got me. All right, shit. There's actual like serious revolutionary stuff potentially happening in Colombia, so I gotta be serious. I can't make these fucking jokes. I can't joke about silly porn. I gotta read the story. God damn it. Oh man. Alright. Maybe that's my niche on Twitch, is doing these fucking you laugh, you lose shit, and people try to post like funny songs to distract me from reading the news. Alright, for decades, the guerrilla movement based in the country's rural and largely neglected corners was supported by urban militias that provided intelligence and logistics support. They acted as, oh no, I already read that. A reserve force that lived at home with their families but could be called on for help, even to carry out attacks. Just under 3,000 of these militia members demobilized in 2017, apparently less than half of the total that existed, according to FARC sources, who claim these urban networks continue to operate in the shadows today and could support Marquez's call to arms. Alright, I got the whole thing in the thing. I got the whole article in the picture. I don't need to scroll down anymore. Despite the fears of a new insurgency, a fragmented movement of FARC dissidents poses less of a threat to the Colombian state than the FARC did in its heyday. The senior commanders calling for a new phase in the armed struggle today could energize other forms of fighters, but they lack the military leverage that the FARC had at the height of its insurgency, when it controlled territory across the country and had a well-organized and hierarchical command structure. By contrast, FARC dissidents today maintain a loose structure based on the remnants of guerrilla factions, operating more as a federation rather than a single coherent insurgency force. But a potentially bitter and bloody rivalry among the scattering former FARC militias over influence and control of Colombia's illicit drug trade could still wreak more havoc than on the country's margins. It would also further destabilize a peace deal heralded as a landmark agreement just a few years ago. So that's actually not too informative. Pirate song. This song's a fucking bop. Wait, this is the Brother Hal version of the song? I'll save this to the channel playlist so nobody can queue it up. But it'll play if nobody queues anything. Let me queue up this pirate song that was put in the chat. Oh, it's too long. Excuse me. There's a maximum of 10 minutes for for some reason, and I can't control this, the auto DJ through Nightbot, which is how I'm automating the music playing in the background, it won't handle music that's longer than 10 minutes. I think that's lame, and I would like to increase the limit, but it seems to be hard coded into the system, so I can't really do anything about that. Alright. Let me finish this article up. Putin bot trying to queue up Margaret Thatcher's speech. Fuck that. You know I can manually skip these songs, right? If Margaret Thatcher starts talking, I'm gonna skip. Fuck that shit. I could just sing a fucking pirate song. Do what you want, 'cause a pirate be free. You are a pirate. Rest in peace, Stephen Carl Stephenson. That's the guy who was from that show, that meme. Pirates are pretty based, though. Not only were they oppositional to the Anglo Empire. Well, that's a playlist. I can't queue a playlist. I could queue that individual song, though. Yeah, and I'm sorry, right now I'm not paying close attention to. There we go. I didn't do that. I think there's so many things in the queue now that we're gonna hit the end of the stream before I get through the queue. But I will say this: the queue maintains all the songs in it, so if I pause the queue at the end of the stream, it's going to resume on whatever people have queued up that hasn't been played yet. So if you want something to appear on a later stream, it'll still do that if it doesn't play on this stream. Yeah. Alright, let me finish this article and we'll go on to news and non stuff. Despite the fears of the new insurgency, a fragmented movement of FARC dissidents poses less of a threat to the Colombian state than the FARC did in its heyday. Did I read this already? Senior commanders calling for a new phase of the armed struggle today could energize other former fighters, but they lack the military leverage that the FARC had at the height of its insurgency, when it controlled territory across the country and had a well-organized and hierarchical command structure. I did read this already. But a potentially bitter and bloody rivalry among scattered former FARC militias over influence and control of Colombia's illicit drug trade could still wreak more havoc on the country's margins. It would also further destabilize a peace deal heralded as a landmark agreement just a few years ago. I already read all of that. Okay. Alright, here's another article that was linked from the leftypol chat matrix. Somebody in the leftypol chat posted this. This is actually a really interesting that nobody says this, but it's a good point. Venezuela has honestly been more of a threat to America than Cuba for decades. That's a good point. Cuba is still the boogeyman because it's the communist country that they can't properly overthrow, but Venezuela's been a bigger issue for them. Let's see. Nobody's posted any more articles though. This article was posted in the Matrix chat though, so I'll include that. Damn. Hey, Kerponic, if you wanna queue up those songs, you can post them in the Twitch chat. By the way, I'll do it, but I have to. Oh, it's already in there. Oh, is somebody posting it manually? Oh, let me see. All right. I like this currently playing song too. Alright. Oh, Drunken Sailor. I know that song. What would we do with a drunken sailor? What would we do with a drunken sailor? What would we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Alright, this currently playing song is Mao Zedong propaganda music Red Sun in the Sky by Mehiandos Revolution. I'll add that. That's a pretty cool sounding song. That's gonna go on the regular rotation playlist for when nobody plays anything. Alright. So this next article was also posted in the leftypol chat. This is current events relating to Colombia and what's going on there. More on the FARC. Seems like it's based on the scroll bar. It seems like a short article. Yep, pretty short. The three FARC, the party, the dissidents, and the rearmed guerrillas. So, 3 different versions of FARC. Colombia's former FARC guerrilla group has essentially split into 3 categories: the party, the dissidents, and the rearmed guerrillas. The FARC party and the demobilized members loyal to the former commanders are by far the most significant group. The original dissidents in the new guerrilla group are considerably less powerful, but because they are armed and could unite, they pose the biggest challenge to the peace process and peace in Colombia in general. Alright, let's see what's up with this. FARC number 1. FARC numero uno. The party, El Partido. The political party of the FARC and the former guerrillas who are taking part in the peace process are essentially what used to be Colombia's largest rebel group. Despite the major difficulties that have arisen in the peace process, the FARC leaders that now make up the political leadership continue to count on the loyalty of the vast majority of the group's former fighters. According to the UN, 3,100 former FARC fighters and their families are currently living in the 24 reintegration sites that were erected after the 2016 peace deals. Another 8,000 registered FARC members are living outside these camps and are taking part in the peace process. These former guerrillas and military members are most vulnerable to violence and recruitment. You scroll down. FARC number 2, the dissidents. Before the FARC signed peace, 6 of the FARC's approximately 60 fronts dissented and were expelled from the organization. 5 of these groups belonged to the now defunct Eastern Bloc of the FARC and quickly joined forces. While operating independently, former FARC commanders Ivan Mordisco and Gentil Duarte have emerged as these groups' most influential leaders. These dissidents have maintained control over abandoned FARC territory and criminal rackets, which has allowed them to maintain their original military strength to a certain extent. These groups have been a destabilizing force since the beginning, especially in the east and the southeast of the country. These groups continue to call themselves FARC-EP, but have abandoned political ambitions and have generally become an organized crime group. The 64th Front from Cauca also refused to demobilize, but is no longer using their original name. The dissidents have been trying to recruit their former guerrilla buddies and a new generation of fighters from day one of the peace process with relative success. They are, however, opposed by some groups that want to remain autonomous. Oh, and they've got a little Google Maps. But what do the colors mean? We got green and we got red. What's red? It's just called 7. That's just called 1. They've just got numbers on them. What do they mean though? You're showing me all these locations, but what do they mean? What's green and what's red? This one's just called 3. Oh, this one's got a name. Daniel Aldana Column. 29. 49. Oh, what do they mean? 64. They didn't label anything on this map. They don't tell you what any of it means. FARC 3D rearmed. I'm guessing since the largest group they were saying was a party, the largest group are like chapters of the party or something, and then red are original FARC dissident fronts. Are they all dissidents or are they... It doesn't say what they are. God, that's frustrating. By the way, if you're not literate in like global geography, here's Colombia. It's the top northwest of South America. Capital Bogota is right here. But yeah, I wish they would label what those fucking dots are. I love it when there's maps, but I hate when they don't label shit. Yeah, what the fuck do the colors mean, man? This genuinely bothers me that I don't see what that shit is. Suck them Rose logo party. Yeah. I would think that people from FARC who became like a legal party would probably be sock them. But I don't know. I'm no expert on Colombia by any stretch. I just read the news. But the more news I read, the more of an expert I become. And the more of an expert you become. If you watch me read the news. Or if you read the news yourself. FARC number 3, the rearmed guerrillas. Failures in Colombia's peace process have been testing the patience of the mobilized FARC guerrillas since the beginning. Oh, I'm feeling a little bit more sober. Time to drink the rest of the tequila.
Bad talks. Gay bondage.
I got a little bit left. Yeah, FARC 3, the rearmed guerrillas. If somebody, I think somebody's posting. I think somebody's posting the. Oh wait, I gotta put song request in front of it. All right. FARC number 3, the rearmed guerrillas. Failures in Colombia's peace process have been testing the patience of demobilized FARC guerrillas since the beginning. Few in Colombia trust the government, and the FARC members least of all. They were fighting the state for decades. Since 2017, FARC members who had little confidence in the process to begin with, or lost confidence in the course of the process, have rearmed, sometimes trying to reorganize the front they used to belong to. That's fucking embarrassing. You strike up a peace deal, and then people realize, wow, this peace deal is fucking bullshit, and they just pick up arms again. Damn. That's embarrassing. In April 2018, the April 2018 arrest of Jesus Santrich on apparently bogus drug trafficking charges boosted the rearmament of the guerrillas. Some of the approximately 2,000 guerrillas who abandoned the peace process have formed their own groups or have aligned with the original FARC dissidents. The announcement of Argus Santrich and Ivan Marquez that they were forming the new guerrilla group sought to unite these groups and reorganize the FARC's former national organization. This is more difficult than it sounds, though, and it may be too late. First of all, Mordisco and Duarte have been actively incorporating rearming their former FARC guerrillas. So far, the original dissident leaders have had no interest in submitting to their former bosses and have shown no interest in politics. In fact, the original dissidents and the new FARC are rivals. Additionally, groups like the ELN and AGC have taken control of many criminal rackets that used to finance the FARC, which has made it difficult for all rearming guerrillas to regain power in the regions where they used to reign. So far, only the 18th Front, which rearmed in late 2017 and is active in the north of Antioquia, has pledged allegiance to Marquez and his group. The success of Marquez and Santrich depends entirely on the failures of the government to implement the peace deal, the killing of demobilized FARC members, and the government's failures to address the root causes of the armed conflict could change the FARC's demobilized guerrillas' minds and convince a new generation to take up arms. Yeah. I think you should show this. That's... Or you posted the same tweet twice. Yeah, I mean, hey. I wish I could say your whole name on Twitch, but I can't. But yeah, Butthole, you've posted some really good shit, some good news in the past. Let's see. Graphic, the blood of leftists fills the streets in Colombia today. An avoidable massacre like the many preceding it. Support from US and zero pressure from media and AIDS and, zero pressure from... Wait, what? Support from US and zero pressure from media, AIDS and abets slaughter. As a new liberal client state, Colombia gets infinite passes as it advances US hegemony in the region. Fuck. I can't show that, man. The guy's fucking... Alright, I can describe... I can't show that. There's too much blood. The guy... Jesus Christ. It's a man lying on the ground, and his pants and his shirt are just soaked in blood. You can't even see the original color of his clothes because there's so much blood soaked in them. God damn. Alright, I'll watch through this just to make sure there's nothing in here that I'm missing, so I can see all of it. Alright, somebody's lying on the ground, on their back. Right pant leg is completely soaked in blood. Like, you can see that he's wearing jeans, and there's like, you know, the regular jean coloring of on the left leg, but the right leg is completely soaked through with blood. It's just blood red. Dark red. Completely soaked with blood. And the shirt looks like a long sleeve shirt. The torso just completely soaked with blood. The sleeves look mostly covered in blood too. The amount of blood is just unbelievable. Unfortunately, the camera's not so good, so I can't really... I don't know. I'll risk it. I'll risk it. Nobody report me for this, because this is important.
Angriff gegen die Sowjetunion ist der Stoß ins Herz der Revolution. Und der Krieg, der jetzt...
Yeah, it's incredibly brutal. They say no está matando, means they're killing us. They're killing us. Yeah, you can see how much this is. I mean, somebody died, man. The blood of leftists fills the streets in Colombia today, an unavoidable massacre like the many preceding it. Support from U.S. and zero pressure from media, AIDS, and abets slaughter. As a new liberal client state, Colombia gets infinite passes as it advances U.S. hegemony in the region. Yeah, oh, fuck it. I'll risk it. That's too important to show people. It's like the napalm girl photo. Like, yeah, maybe Twitch bans me for it. Fuck them. If you're gonna defend that shit, eat shit. You know. Oh, but our advertisers want it to be a child-friendly website. We don't want to put anything this. Fuck you. You know, once you become a monopoly in media distribution, that kind of transcends the significance of your fucking ad revenue bullshit. Nationalize Twitch, collectivize Twitch, and YouTube, and whatever else. Fuck all that's fucking. Oh, but it's private. It's a private company. It can decide to censor you, and that's not a violation of the First Amendment. I don't care. You know, have you become so prominent that you're the public square? You're the public square. And not only should that stuff apply to you, if you try to stop people from showing things like that that are newsworthy, that's absolutely a violation of freedom of speech in any practical sense. Yeah, it is brutal. I think Colombia might be heading toward. I mean, I'm not that well read on Colombia, but Colombia is going wild right now, and they might overthrow the government. We'll see. We'll see. One Deqad Twitch exec. I don't even know what Deqad, DEQAD. I don't know what that means. Collectivize every neolib. Yep. I mean, yeah, collectivize all of the media platforms. Obviously, that's like. Oh, hold on. My fucking stash here got caught up in my fucking bandana. Yeah. Alright, I got it. Alright, Alright, Butthole posted another tweet. And another tweet. Man, you were again, I'm bummed that I can't say your name on Twitch because of, like... Did you really tweet welcome to the... Did you really queue up welcome to the cum zone? I'm not gonna play welcome to the cum zone on here. That shit could get me banned. Fuck that. I'm skipping cum zone. That's a funny video, but I'm not gonna play that on Twitch. That shit could get me banned for real. Oh, I did this to myself, didn't I? And here's Rick Astley. Yeah. All right, let's have a moment of levity before we get into some more gnarly shit. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. Full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. Understand, never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Alright, enough of that. Alright, what's this tweet that you wanted me to look at? What's this tweet? Colombian forces deploy a Black Hawk helicopter over Buga Valle de Cauca. Buga Valle de Cauca. The U.S. gave that helicopter to Colombia ostensibly to combat drug trafficking. Meanwhile, drug cartels control the country, and the helicopter is used to repress popular protests. Alright, this is just a video of a helicopter. What? Oh, come on. Fucking scroll bar sucks. Alright.
That turns me on. That's amazing. Do
So it's just a video of the helicopter. That's yeah, I mean, what do you expect with imperialism? They're giving them tools to do shit. And here's another tweet. Colombia government is killing unarmed Colombian government's killing unarmed civilians who are protesting against the U.S. installed dictatorship. Food and gas has been cut off to cities, and protesters, including women and teenagers, are being shot on the streets by police and military. Let's see if the fuck are you queuing up in my auto DJ? Fuck this. Twitch is very supportive of gay people, but they're not very supportive of sex, so I can't play sex stuff. I'm sorry. They're very supportive of gay people, except when it comes to sex. They're very puritanical about sex, so I can't play sex stuff. Twitch is completely schizophrenic about that subject. Yeah. El Guevara is right. Alright, let's read other news then. Same shit, different schemes, different methods. Corporates and bureaucrats conspire to repress us. Oh, it's a threat. Both of them are threads? Okay. I can't show the second one because the second one has, like, people lying in the streets. It looks like... Well, okay, maybe... I thought for a second those people were dead, but I think they're just lying down. Alright. Let's start with... This was the first tweet thread you linked. I might have to jet out of these links real fast because... Oh. I accidentally dragged it into the same tab as AI Dungeon, and it put it as like a tab stack. So let me try to... There we go. Drag it out separately. Alright, so they got a Black Hawk helicopter from the US that was meant to combat drug trade, but it's now being used to repress dissent. Colombian forces firing heavy amounts of tear gas supplied by the US in Buga, Valle de Cauca, reportedly causing a baby to die from asphyxiation. Alright, the retweeting Todo por Colombia, which is all for Colombia. En Buga de Valle Cauca están tirando gases lacrimógenos a las zonas residenciales y ya se reportó la muerte de un bebé por asfixia a causa de los gases. Yeah. It's the same thing that the retweet said. They using these tear gases and killed the baby. Killed the fucking baby, man. Alright, this video reportedly shows Colombian forces opening fire on protesters from a US supplied Black Hawk helicopter. Colombia is a crime scene. Oh, let's rewind and play through this. Alright, I was looping back to the beginning. God damn it. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, but... Stop talking about gay, not everything else. Okay, when I say gay, I mean like the clips are from like gay porns. That's the whole meme. Twitch is very supportive of the LGBT community, but they are also not supportive of like any sexual content or sexual adjacent content. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Some more pictures of the conflict between Colombia and the people, the government and the people. Time for the U.S. to import democracy the way they do again. No, this is a U.S.-backed regime. They don't give a fuck. They're gonna let it happen. Yeah, there you go. Zapatak. This is the U.S. importing democracy to Colombia. All these tear gas, canisters, Black Hawk helicopters, bullets, and riot gear armor are all paid for by the U.S. tax dollar. The Colombian military forces are the U.S. proxy army in the region. Exactly. Oh, Putin, don't be careful where you post that stuff. You don't want to go fed posting. You don't want to attract undue attention, man. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, just be a little more careful. Don't post anything that might get you put on a list or might draw attention. Yeah. They're imperialists, what do you expect? Exactly. A Lockheed Martin project. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, they're the Black Hawk helicopter manufacturers. Alright. I think that's it for that thread. Let me open up the other thread. God damn it. Colombia is Godspeed to the people of Colombia. Yeah, Colombian government is killing unarmed civilians who are protesting against the U.S. installed dictatorship. Food and gas has been cut off the cities, and protesters, including women and teenagers, are being shot in the streets by police and military. I'm not gonna play that video, but here you see this is police movement on their motorcycles, I guess. Colombia Resiste, fully armored units are responding to civilians on the streets. Countless videos of peaceful bystanders just being shot dead for no reason. So they're escalating. They're escalating, it's getting worse. I always fed post. I mean, I guess there's something to be said about just brazenly posting that kind of stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Shit is deteriorating. The bourgeois order is kind of falling apart. Putin seems sus. Just because somebody's posted, look. Important thing to understand about like the glow thing is that it's not just like there are people who are working for the intelligence agencies who post on websites like ours, but there's also people who just internalize those ideologies, those narratives that the feds are supporting, putting out there, and people who are going to fly off the handle and post about, you know, blowing shit up, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that they are working for the feds. But somebody who is drawing a lot of attention and making the kind of posts that the FBI would be making, with the CIA or whoever would be making, they're effectively carrying water for those organizations. As long as you're not drawing undue suspicion to an organization, it's not necessarily a problem. And as long as you're not inciting people to do something fucking stupid, it's not necessarily a problem. Oh my god. Dude. Oh. May the escalation bring something great, some great change. Yeah, hopefully. All right, so here we got something on Palestine. We got like 6 links, 6 whole links about Israel Palestine. Man, I need to like put a moratorium on certain parts of the world after I've seen enough stuff and talked about enough stuff from those parts of the world, because holy shit, some places just constantly there's awful shit happening. All right, I'm gonna see if I can I'll put these tabs in one stack and then move the stack over to this window. So, oh, there's one left. All right. All right, they're all in one stack now. Here we go. Breaking: Israeli forces killed Saeed Yosef Mohammed Odeh, 16, on May 5th around 9 p.m. in Odalah, a village south of Nablus in the occupied West Bank. He has sustained 2 gunshot wounds from the back and died soon after. Rest in power, Saeed Yosef Mohammed Odeh. You're suffocating me. Omar Khatib was one of the Palestinians arrested in Sheikh Jarrah last night. Look how many Israeli forces are on him. And I'll remind people that this whole kneeling on people method that killed George Floyd in the United States is something that U.S. police officers were trained in by the IDF in a project where U.S. police officers were flown out to Israel to be trained by the IDF. Last night, Israeli forces raided homes of Palestinians in Sheikh Jarrah and in Jerusalem and assaulted Raplistan. All right, I'll close that window. It'll stop my stream from stuttering so much, raise the frame rate a little bit. All right. Last night, Israeli forces raided homes of Palestinians in Sheikh Jarrah in Jerusalem and assaulted, tear gassed, and arrested some of the young men. The families are facing forced displacement from their homes on Thursday, where Jewish settlers take over. Yeah. Talking about Cuba increasing the private sector in chat. Oh, the thread's gone, so we can't go looking for epic posts. So it's not the private sector, but Cuba's talking about like co-ops, but actually communist, I guess. So the IDF doing, you know, IDF type of shit. Oh, this is lower down in that one thread. What's this say? These protests started due to a tax reform. This is Colombia. With many of the protesters calling to oust the US-backed government, that's when armed units started killing protesters. According to various journalists in Colombia and neighboring Venezuelan Telesur, who has many people on the ground. And in this tweet, this ASB News military, Colombian police is just treating the protests as free-for-all. Basically executing people with blind aim while calling them sons of bitches. Looks like they're holding handguns, shooting people. There are reports of sexual abuse against females by the officers as well. Arrests, prosecutors were subject to rape in Cali, according to Colombian sources. Alright, I'm not gonna stay on that. Yeah, people are just being executed. Different city, Colombian military deployed ahead of planned protests. Yeah, they had tanks rolling out there earlier. I'm not sure if, let me rewind that. Was that a tank or was that an APC? That looks like an APC with a turret mounted on top of it. A tank has a cannon. It's like a central mounted gun. That looks like an APC, an armored personnel carrier, with a turret mounted on top of it. Not quite the same, not technically a tank, but similar. Trude says the U.S. and international allies will do nothing about this because they only care when it is in their business interests. Yeah. Well, they do care about this in the sense that this is in their business interests, not in their interests. I combined the two words. In their business interests, because Colombia is run in the interests of Western imperialism. Shit, I'm way behind the chats. Leftism, communism, markets are only ever a weakness and a liability if you can achieve a planned economy. Yeah. Planning the economy is superior to markets, as a rule. I can't believe the Venezuelans did this. That's why Dick Blast, which is Paul Cockshot, suggests us to hybrid both syndicalism and the planned economy. Yeah. Actually, I talked to Cockshot in the comments on one of his videos and asked him about using like free and open source software methods of like drafting the rules, and he said like, yeah, that could work. You know, you could have like direct democracy in the sense of the people directly writing the laws. As long, you know, you just have to have a method of ratifying which changes are the ones that go into effect through a vote or whatever. Oh shit, I dropped a nut. Isn't his whole thing an economy planned cybernetically? Yeah, that is Cockshot's thing, is planning cybernetically planned economy. I mean, it's what Chile was trying to do. Cybernetic syndicalism, sort of. There were some people on leftypol who were trying to get in contact with one of the South American countries, getting them in contact with Cockshot to try to talk about reinvigorating or reviving Cybersyn. I forget which country that was. But he was interviewed, Cockshot was interviewed by some kid from a South American communist organization. That was a while ago. Infantry tanks. Yeah, that's a way you could describe APC with mounted turrets. Infantry tanks. Look upon the link above. What is this? It's a YouTube link. Well, this is Cockshot. The limits of market socialism. All right, yeah, that's probably pretty good. Cockshot has, you know, he has his things you can criticize him for, but he's a smart guy. He's pretty good, technically minded. That's probably a. I don't think I've seen that lecture of his, but that's probably a pretty good one. Infantry fighting vehicle, like cross between an APC and a tank. Okay. Did I pause the? No, I got booted out of Nightbot for some reason. I didn't pause the music. It just my login expired or something. Hold on. Let me try to go back to. There we go. All right, reopen Auto DJ so we can have some music play. All right. All right, now we got some music going. There we go. Read this. Cockshot was interviewed by a kid from the Gami part of Venezuela. Okay. I know it was somewhere in South America.
That plane-shaped pole.
Alright, where did... Towards the new oh, yo, can you just link me to Towards the New Socialism? I'm not going to read that right now. We're on the news. Maybe I can read parts of that or something, but yeah, that's Cockshot's book. The big, I guess it's magnum opus.
People dive into the street. I play with my meat.
Yeah, Venezuela.
And my tower is coming.
It was somebody from Venezuela interviewed Cockshot. It would be cool if he got in contact with some people in South America and got some of his stuff implemented. Imagine if the A's were also part of mega corporations, or I'm just paranoid that too much played Stellaris. Maybe. I feel like aliens would probably not be that interested in, you know, human corporations. Might be bigger things on their minds, but yeah. All right. All right. So unfortunately, Rupley's stream is done. I don't know if there's anything else.
The plane going in. I like the plane shooting out. It's raining broken glass while I sit on my ass. My steel melted and my tower is coming down.
Let's see. All right, I got the I'm also trying to manage the happenings side too at the same time because of the stuff in Bogota. All right, status quo has something up so that'll work until somebody tags me to add add a stream. Gogshot should go to those new city communes that we're gonna legalize a couple days ago. Oh yeah, and set up Cyber said, yeah. That would be based. Pistachio ASMR. Yeah, I am eating pistachios. I don't know. I get hungry when I start drinking. I haven't had a whole lot to eat today, so. Oh, so El Guevara, if you're not aware, Venezuela, apparently is trying to like do communization from the national level through the state. They're like, they passed a law, the National Assembly passed a law to support communal cities, which are like communes organized at the municipal level in Venezuela. So there's like a bunch of cities that are going to be transitioning toward like a commune model in Venezuela, where the municipal government is sort of taking over and handing authority over to the people through like people's councils to manage how they handle production and politics. That was like a huge development. There's a leftypol thread on that. Let me go find it, because that was a really big deal. It was
favorite media catchphrase, the U-turn. I have only one thing to say.
Let me see.
U-turn if you want to.
It might have fallen off the front page, but I read it on stream the other day.
Be pleased to inform Her Majesty that the white ensign flies alongside the Union Jack.
All right, no, here it is. Here it is. Let me go ahead and bump that before I post it, so it does, just to make sure it doesn't fall off the page.
Congratulate our forces and the Marines.
Yeah, there's a thread on this. Here you go. Posted it in the side tube. I posted it in Twitch chat as well. Yeah, so this is like huge news. Yeah, Venezuela, the National Assembly of Venezuela approved in a vote of 157 National Assembly members out of 177 to basically put forth a law that would turn over authority to the municipal governments and like people's councils at the municipal level to manage the country, basically. And there's like other stuff going on with Venezuela, but why are you eating beans? They're not beans, they're nuts. Which, yeah, oh, is there another live stream? Oh, this is another Bogota live stream. Alright, this is from Sputnik Italia. Thanks for the link. I'll put that in the happenings stream. And I'll put that in my stream. It's another one of those gay porn memes with this sounds like it's sampling a bunch of audio clips. Alright, so this is the link. Bogotá continuando le proteste contro la nuova riforma del fisco. So protesting the new fiscal reform. Oh, it's loading slow. But there you go. Better stream, okay. I'll put that in. The uploader made this video not embeddable. Alright, I can't put that in the happening stream, but I can put that in my stream in the background probably. Live anti-government marchers gather in Bogota amid protest violence that has rocked Colombia. Alright, that's not showing too much. It's a little far back from the action, but you can see that there's some clashes going on there. Thanks for the link, by the way. Alright. Let's see, close this. Close this link. Let's finish the... Alright, back. Oh yeah, there's more links from Israel. Last night, Israeli forces stormed Sheikh Jarrah again, where they beat up Palestinians and arrested several of them. The video shows Israeli forces assaulting Muna. I guess that's somebody's Twitter handle, so I guess it's a specific individual. And arresting her younger brother Mahmoud, who was released this morning. Don't get cheese cooked again. Oh, yeah. See ya, Trude. Hopefully, it doesn't suck too much at work. Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's my graphics card right now. I don't know, maybe I went to some website that installed like a Bitcoin miner on my computer or something, but I think my graphics card is just old. That's why it's chugging. My computer is chugging right now. Why are you posting? Why are you queuing up like duck roll and shit? Alright. Alright, there's no thread on this one. Yeah. They're just that's AI dungeon. Fuck. Yeah, Israel just keeps harassing Palestinian activists. Israeli police are brutalizing Palestinian youth right and left in Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood, facing imminent ethnic cleansing by the Israeli state. Oh shit, stream cut. Alright, let's see what's last one from Israel. Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise. Alright. Make it so, yeah. Israeli settlers set fire to Palestinian lands in Birin, the area south of Nablus, has been under settler attack since a drive-by shooting left 2 settlers wounded on Sunday. Yeah, that was a story that we were covering. There was somebody shot at Israeli like settlement soldiers Sunday. The UN has documented around 130 attacks by settlers since the start of 2021. There's a meme. How about Palestine? So maybe something to send us off on the Israel. I think we're done with Israel Palestine. Oh yeah, so Reddit post. Let me turn the music down a little bit. Israeli military personnel after blowing the head off of another Palestinian child.
You will assist us. I am the cutest of all. You are the
Come on. God damn it. Alright, I really gotta, I guess I gotta order a new video card. Or maybe it's my CPU, I don't know. It's not just my internet, that's gotta be. Maybe it's my internet. My computer's not working that hard. What the fuck? But yeah, you get the joke. They're dancing and celebrating war crime. Yeah. Shit. This was not a problem a few days ago. All right. Alright, I'll cue up that music and then we'll... I think we're out of stuff before News and On, so I'll go on to News and On stuff. Alright. Make sure I've got... Darmok and Jihad at Tanagra. That's pretty good. Is the designation USS supposed to mean United States ship? I don't remember what it's supposed to be in Star Trek. I don't think it's United States ship. It's like they're like the UN or something like that in that series. The buffering is my hardware or something, I think. I don't know. Either I went to a website that installed a Bitcoin miner, or my graphics card or something is just too old. I haven't upgraded my computer in like a long time, so it might be it. United Starfleet or something? I don't know. I'm not a... I like Star Trek, but I'm not like a big nerd who could tell you a bunch of obscure facts about it. Alright. So let's go to News and On's news. City offers homeless one-way travel ticket to Europe if they signed contracts to never return. Okay, that's... I'm just gonna see what this says, because that's fucking wild. I'm waiting for the next graphic card update since 2017. Yeah, there is not going to be a good time to upgrade your graphic card with all these fucking Bitcoin miners just soaking up all of the product, so I guess I gotta just suck it up and pay the money. Maybe try to find like a good time to find some cheap product, but it's not going to be, it's only going to be relatively cheap. Oh, here's another. All right, here's another non-news and on story. All right, I'll do that after I cover this one. Shit. I mean. Wait. I thought I opened... I guess I accidentally closed the tab. Alright. From Newsweek, city offers homeless a one-way travel ticket to Europe if they sign contract to never return. Man, I need like we gotta let me just actually, it's not on Twitch. Let me post the honk. This is just nuts. The city of Basel in Switzerland has offered its homeless community a free one-way ticket to any other European destination if they agree to sign a contract vowing to never return. Toprak Yergu, a Basel Department of Justice is dealing with homeless people. A Department of Justice spokesperson told local newspaper 20 Minutes that homeless individuals in the city can request a travel voucher and 20 Swiss francs, $21.90 US dollars. In return, the individuals must sign a contract vowing not to return to the country for a specified period of time.
What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning? Way, hey.
The official told the outlet any individuals caught and violated the contract could face deportation. Beneficiaries must undertake in writing not to return to Switzerland at least for a certain period of time. If they're checked again, they risk expulsion from our country, Yergu said. The city of Basel in Switzerland has reportedly offered homeless individuals a free one-way ticket to anywhere else in Europe if they vow never to return. 31 homeless individuals have taken the city's offer, including 14 from Romania and 7 from Germany, according to Le News, an English newspaper published in Switzerland. Critics have reportedly called the offer street cleansing. Switzerland, a Central European country home to mountains, lakes, and villages, has demonstrated a zero-tolerance approach to homelessness. In January 2014, officials in Geneva placed a female homeless individual in custody after she failed to pay a 500 CHF or $547 US dollar fine for begging in the streets. Oh, I'm in the wrong fucking tab. Shit. Oh, USS's United Starship. Okay. God damn it, another horrible story. Alright. Alright. Alright, what do people... Let me check the chat real quick. I guess I have a sense of adventure. People talk about traveling, yeah. Talking about travel, talking about space. Talking about explore. Who's queuing up YouTube poops? Alright. Alright, whatever. Yeah, Switzerland is offering free tickets to some, like, get out, fuck off to any other country. You get the point. Alright. Wow. Newsweek reached out to the Switzerland Federal Department of Foreign Affairs for comment. The story will be updated with any response, and apparently they have not responded. Alright. Here's another story, courtesy of Butthole. Can't say your whole name on Twitch. Hate crimes are creating a mental health crisis among Asian Americans. Hate crimes against the Asian American community grew 149% last year. All that talk about China virus. Folks, we gotta stop this China virus. China is making a virus, and they're gonna threaten America. We gotta do something about it. And yeah, here we go. In March of this year, a man went on a killing spree across 3 spots in Atlanta, Georgia, killing 8 people. 6 of them were Asian American women, and the police suspect the motivations of the killer were related to sexual desire. However, the city's mayor kept the focus on the victims. Whatever the motivation was for the guy, we know that... We're really gonna call him this guy. We know that the majority of the victims were Asian, Acacia Lance Bottoms said. We also know that this is an issue that is happening across the country. It is unacceptable, it is hateful, and it has to stop. According to the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism report, hate crimes against the Asian American community grew 149% last year. This has happened against the backdrop of overall reduction in hate crimes in the U.S., meaning that racism against Asian Americans in particular is rising in the country. This can be linked with the xenophobia Asian Americans had to face during the initial days of the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, people being fucking stupid and bigots. I'm convinced COVID-19 was engineered. I'm sure that you are, Eugene. And that's not that ridiculous, but I don't think there's really any evidence to suggest that. Now Putin queued up some King Crimson, nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, feel free to tinfoil at this stream, I don't care. I mean, you're kind of a dumbass name using names on an anonymous image board. I mean, yeah, but this is the SciTube. It's not quite the same. There's levels of anonymity. The SciTube's a little separate from that. Some graphs on the hate crimes, I guess. Oh yeah, Air Force fake people Reddit, Eglin Air Force Base. Yeah, Reddit is full of like bots controlled by the fucking air. Like, yeah, most of the posts on Reddit come from the like an IP address at Eglin Air Force Base. That's a thing that is happening. Oh, this is from Pirates of the Caribbean 3, isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen a movie that was more mad at the English than that movie. That movie is like unironically about like an international revolution against the British Empire. It's pretty crazy that it like had such a high budget and made so much money in Hollywood, given that. Yeah. It should be bannable for people to use names, but Jannies won't do that. I know it's a few wacko Hig aliens and burnouts. There's not a lot of people who use names on leftypol. Whatever. I think I'm out of pistachios. Pirates of the Caribbean, first 3, maybe 4, are one of the best things to come out of the 2000s. Yeah. The second and third movie are very... I mean, I don't think the fourth one's very good, but the second and third movie are extremely goofy. The first one's fun, but the second and third one are like ultra anti-Anglo. It's like wild how against the U.S. Empire I mean, not the U.S., the English Empire they are. It's like they're fucking killing all that's beautiful and wonderful in the world, and the people of all nations have to rise up and unite against the English. It's fucking crazy that got produced in Hollywood. And had such a huge budget, made like a fucking $1 billion at the box office. I think it's because Disney gave license to the director and writers to do what they wanted. They weren't really paying attention. But yeah, it's like there's literally scenes in those movies about like how capitalism in like the form of colonialism is destroying the wonders of the world. It's really crazy. I'm drinking tequila. Just, you know, standard kind of shit. It's Cinco de Mayo. That and some water to stay hydrated. Fourth movie isn't part of the series. I agree, yeah. The fourth movie is like... The fourth movie is also crazy because it's like... I think it's still the highest budget of any film ever made. But they, like... Because they were shooting it in 3D, all of the cameras that they used have like the same... I think it's focal length of the lenses, so every shot in the film feels like it's like a medium shot. So like everything was shot with one camera, and it feels weirdly claustrophobic the entire time because there's no like wide shots and tight shots that are giving you like different feelings of space. It's like it's an extremely expensive movie, but it feels incredibly cheap. It's bizarre. Anyway, we're not talking about film shit. Here's a fact sheet. Anti-Asian Prejudice March 2020 Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism. Anti-Asian hate crime reported to police in America's largest cities 2020. Alright, here is a table. Alright, okay, we got graphs. We got graphs, people. We can look at this more simply. Alright, so we got graphs from 2019 and 2020. So the light blue on the left is 2019, and the dark blue on the right is 2020. So we got, well, these kind of, it's hard to say much about these over here because there weren't a lot of reports in general, so it might be an aberration. Search feature on leftypol. Oh, yeah, there's a you can link to. I think there's a link for that. Yeah, there is a search feature that was implemented recently. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, butthole. Search.php is the extension. Yeah, John Carter was a fucking ridiculously expensive movie that made nothing at the box office because everybody sees the name John Carter and doesn't know what that means. Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean were some of the most expensive and most profitable movies ever made. I think that just as it went on up to the fourth movie, they kept getting more expensive and more profitable. I'm not sure if the fourth movie made as much money as the others. I know that the third was like really high up there because they were done as like a trilogy, so they were done as one movie, and then the second and third were made as were made together to try to make a trilogy out of it, and then after that they were just milking it, and it kind of declined, I think. But yeah, anyway, so it looks like there's a huge jump in New York City in violence, hate crimes toward Asian Americans. LA looks like it's about doubled. Same with Boston. There's a significant increase in Seattle, about doubled in San Jose. I think a significant increase in San Francisco. Dallas, it went from like 0 to 6 or something. But these are just reported incidents, so. Anti-Asian hate crime incidents, FBI data 1996 to 2019. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because this is just like you're looking at pretty raw data here. It's like, all right, we start off up here, then there's this decline, and then bloop, a little bit of an uptick, but you can't really say too much from that alone. Damn. They really got it broken down by every different identity. Did they censor China? I mean, I can understand censoring this word or this word, but they censored China before a China virus. So it looks like these were peaking in March 15th, the Ides of March 2020. And there was a peak in Kung Flu in June 21st, 2020. Yeah. Beliefs about who's responsible for coronavirus and political affiliation. Where's this? This is New Center for Public Integrity, Ipsos poll. So political affiliation, blue is Republican, orange is Democrats, independents is gray. But this is not a huge sample size. So like China in general has like a lot of I really want to know how they phrase the questions on this survey, because that's a lot of people saying China, like this bar right here is saying that like who's thought China was at fault for this. That's a lot of people. So like 55% of Republicans and then 30% of Democrats and then like 55% of independents, roughly, something like that. Say it's China's fault. Damn. That's like, people are really fucking stupid in this. Man, this is the kind of shit that I see and I'm like, is there really any hope for the United States at all? Like, is there anything you can do with this culture, with this country, with these people? Alright, yeah, I think that's... Hold on, I can actually... This is in a different tab. What's this? Beliefs about coming close to someone of Asian ancestry in public by political affiliation. Man, like... So they're asking people if you're concerned about coming close to someone in public if they're Asian. And you got like a nothing percentage of people from Republicans, Democrats, and Independents. And you got a somewhat concerned, like who are very concerned, and you got a pretty decent number who are saying they're somewhat concerned. At most, you top out at 45% of people of Democrats who are not at all concerned. That's fucking disgraceful. God, this is... Jesus Christ. I think my mistake is identifying with this fucking country. $6,500 army personnel sent to Cali, Colombia to quell the protests. That's gonna be a lot of dead people. Thought Waterworld was over 200 million back in the 90s. It might have been, but we're at like billion-dollar movies now, Eugene. When the AH-1N1 blew up because the US-based pig factory farms let conditions fester in it, no one was calling it the Yankee virus, yeah, or that it was the fault of the US, yeah, true. Yeah, of course Democrats aren't woke. Democrats are like Republicans in denial, basically. They're like, Democrats are like the people who think that, like, you know, oh yeah, I totally believe that black people are inferior and that kind of shit. But like, what's the woke position on this? You know, the unwoke position is that, like, we need to get rid of the black people, but the woke position is we need to, like, you know, give them head pats and treat them as infants and shit like that. You know, it's like this, instead of our racism, the racism of the Democrats is based on, like, what's the word for it? It's chauvinism, but it's like paternalism specifically. It's paternalism instead of like hatred and wanting to expel people. It's basically the thing. Things are getting bad in Colombia. Do you have a link to, is there a stream or my... For some reason it didn't queue up. I mean, for some reason it didn't notify me when somebody tagged me in the happenings stream. Is there oh fuck, nope, that's one of those APCs. Alright, I'll open up that in the window behind me. Yeah, something's going on in Colombia. I mean, a lot's going on in Colombia. Resumen de las protestas de hoy en Colombia. Yeah. Resuming of today's protests in Colombia is nothing. Alright, here's a better link, maybe. Alright, maybe this is a better link. This is, looks like it's closer. At the center of a bunch of movement. Alright, there we go. There's reports that Cali is under martial law. Shit. I mean, I'm gonna pause the music so we can hear this better.
Vamos a esperar, pero si hay sectores que quieran dar algún saludo o hacer alguna intervención o hacer una denuncia, con todo gusto tenemos el micrófono abierto, compañeros y compañeras. Les ratificamos que el paro continúa. Mañana hay comando nacional con todos los sectores, convocado por plataforma y coordinado por Bogotá, donde se van a entregar los informes nacionales.
There was a tweet someone posted showing gunfire going off. Yeah, there's lots of reports of that. Another link? Alright, let's try this one.
Con las dinámicas de movilización que se van a seguir desarrollando a lo largo y ancho de esta desangrada nación.
I'm gonna let this guy finish the speech before I switch to the other source.
En la plazoleta de la Facultad de Arquitectura de la Universidad Nacional nos vamos a reunir los sectores que venimos y vienen coordinando las diferentes actividades para que a las 4 de la tarde nos pongamos de acuerdo en las decisiones que en el departamento vamos a tomar para continuar con las dinámicas de movilización. Cada sector, como lo hizo hoy Medicina, de las diferentes universidades, facultades que se movilizó en contra del proyecto de ley 1010 que profundiza la privatización de la salud en Colombia, se han venido haciendo actividades de cacerolazos. Ayer en Villa María, en la Floresta, en la INEA, la comunidad salió e hizo movilización en el barrio. Y eso hay que motivarlo, provocar que el barrio también salga a hacer actividades en contra de estas políticas que viene implementando el paramilitar Álvaro Uribe por medio del señor Iván Duque Márquez. Ese es un tema que tenemos que valorar. Repito, los compañeros y compañeras que quieran brindar los saludos. Compañero Carlos Yepes, presidente de la CUT. Mientras llegan demás compañeros que vienen en la...
Yeah, I agree. Anti-sectarian gang is fucked up. The people are posting that stuff. I got that link already, butthole. I was just waiting for the end of the stream before I switched the speech before I switched over, because the guy was in the middle of speaking. And the people started cheering, so there we go. Alright, this is alright, here's looks like this is the main like protest area, or one of the, there's people are doing this nationally. But yeah, you're right, anti-sectarian gang. They're this thing about like, oh well, it's this group that's doing all the hate against this group. That kind of stuff is not productive. Scapegoating people just makes the tensions rise between these different identity groups within the proletariat, instead of focusing people on the bourgeoisie, who are creating the overarching scenario where they divide people against each other. So it bothers me to see that stuff on leftypol, but I think there were people who were speaking against it, so that's good. Yeah, don't ever be distracted by idpol. Yeah. Anti-Chinese attitudes have certainly been fomented by the ruling class, though. You can see the wink and nod that it's okay to go against accepted targets. That's right. That's part of political correctness, is this whole thing of like, it's only racist if it's against certain groups. And like, classically, that's the thing is, it's like, oh, you can't be racist against white people. And then they also be like, oh, you can't be racist against Asian people, except now obviously you can be. It's a very tricky ideological game that they play. You know, it's the trick is to not get caught up in scapegoating this or that race or gender or sexual orientation or whatever else, but to recognize that the entire situation has been contrived by the ruling class, who is basically setting the rules of engagement. And they're putting people in this position of antagonism. And you want to basically not figure out how to play the game by the right rules and how you're supposed to treat this or that people based on which group they're in, but to flip the table. Stop playing this game. That's the goal. It's like nuclear war. The only winning move is not to play. Find a different game. Organize the proles. Have a revolution, etc. That's just a breakdown by different groups of Asian Americans by hate crime incidents. Yeah, I think this kind of, you get the point. Percentage of Asian American and Pacific Islander population in U.S. states. Yeah, not super high. Highest in California, it looks like, and Hawaii. But of course, Hawaii, that's you know, the indigenous people there are Pacific Islanders, so of course. All right. Baby dies after father killed in barrage police gunfire. This was a story linked from the chat. A baby boy taken by his father from the scene of a double homicide in Louisiana died at a hospital on Tuesday, hours after the man was killed by Mississippi law enforcement officers who fired a barrage of bullets at the car, authorities said. Cops just keep fucking killing people. I guess it really does take some, like, almost divine intervention event of, like, George Floyd, where you've got some, like, all these people around who take video and that shit goes viral. It's like you need that for people to actually care about police violence in the US. Yeah, that's a good point. People doing these hate crimes are too stupid to distinguish between Koreans and Chinese people. Well, it's like after 9/11, how there were a bunch of hate crimes against, like, Indian Americans, or like various different ethnicities with darker skin, not like really like black skin, like really dark skin, but like brownish skin, because people just like, oh yeah, I can't tell the difference between somebody who's like from the Middle East, even though that's an extremely broad category, and somebody who just is like a little bit darker than me. Yeah, that is a key feature of racism, is that racists are always really stupid, because racism is really stupid. And I think that's something that the left kind of sleeps on a little bit, is pointing out how dumb racism is. Like, sure, it's hateful and evil and whatever, but it's also really dumb. And if you, like, take it seriously enough to critique it on its own terms, you realize how stupid it is. And I don't know, maybe that's, like, really embarrassing for all those racists. And you can, like, show people how fucking ridiculous the racism is. And not just the overtly racist people, but like the ones who are more tacitly racist, like the liberals who support racist policies, but in the guise of, I don't know, like this paternalistic white man's bird mentality. I don't know, I'm not plugging my ears, Eugene, I just wasn't reading the chat. Race indeed doesn't matter, class matters. I mean, it kind of true, anti-sectarian gang, but the thing is that race is very useful for the ruling class to divide people, so it doesn't matter in the sense that people, the proles, are divided against each other over race. So in that sense it matters, and we need to, like, overcome that. But yeah, like, the big struggle here is not between, like, races. It's between the classes over this construction that exists that divides people by race, and largely intentionally in order to distract people from the class struggle. Uh-oh. My graphics card just rebooted or something. Alright. The idea that racism has a technocratic solution if you say the right words is absurd. Exactly, yeah. Liberals are, like, almost thinking in terms of magic. Like, if you say the correct incantation, if you cast the right spell, you will dispel racism, and there will no longer be these bigots doing a hecking white supremacy, not recognizing that it's a material problem. Hakeem did some good videos on this. I don't doubt it. Comrade Hakeem makes some pretty good stuff. Like I said, white people seem to care a lot more about these narratives than any black man or woman I've heard. Yeah, it's not even like white people, it's like white liberals who are really into this stuff. Like, white conservatives will buy into, I don't know, like dumb racism shit maybe, but they don't play this game of like, oh, you gotta follow the rules and treat people this particular way. That's a white liberal thing. But yeah, I think people who actually live in real life recognize how stupid that is. Yeah, Occupy Wall Street is a really, yeah, that's like where it really kicked off. Was people were talking about economics and class, and then you got a bunch of people saying like, point of personal privilege, I'm a disabled, trans, gay, non-binary, etc., and so on. And it's like, okay, whatever, but we're talking about economics. Like, you can advocate for that in general, but like, this is we're trying to do a thing here, so let's stay on topic, right? Progressivism can't shake its eugenicist roots. Yeah, I think you are right that there's like this weird eugenicist ideology going on in the background that people haven't managed to extract from their brains, but might be leaning a little too much on that. Labor cannot emancipate itself in the white skin, where in the blacks it is branded. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. You need to liberate everybody to liberate anybody. Exactly. I don't know if it's liberalism or progressivism, in particular conservatives don't give a fuck and will say, yeah. In the United States of North America, every independent movement of the Workers' Party was paralyzed so long as slavery disfigured a part of the Republic. Labor cannot emancipate itself in the white skin, where in the black skin it is branded. But out of the death of slavery, a new life at once arose. There you go. Good Marx quote for Marx's birthday. Cheers. Yeah, that's another thing about, like, you can't liberate the working class in part. You have to do it all together, all at once. And that's something that this, like, liberal identitarian politics misses. When you get into this particularism stuff, you lose the larger picture, that you can't liberate the whole by just liberating parts. And usually those particular oppressions and so on are an indirect consequence of the whole problem. All right. Governor in Harrison County, Mississippi, Brian Switzer, said that the baby, who was born in January, died around 1:30 a.m. Tuesday at USA Children's and Women's Hospital in Mobile, Alabama. Switzer said an autopsy will be done to determine the cause. The injured baby was hospitalized after officers ended the chase by firing at the car driven by Eric Darrell Smith, who died of multiple gunshot wounds Monday after he finally came to a stop in the median of Interstate 10. Switzer told the Associated Press on Tuesday that he had not yet seen the baby's body and couldn't say whether the boy had been shot. The pursuit was joined by more than a dozen officers from the Mississippi Highway Patrol, Gulfport Police Department, and the Harrison County Sheriff's Department. Smith was a suspect in 2 killings near Baker, Louisiana early Monday. WBRZ TV reported that the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Department office said Smith entered the home and fatally shot his ex-girlfriend and her nephew. They were identified as Christian Parker, 32, and Brandon Parker, 26. WLOX TV showed a video taken by a bystander of the final barrage of gunfire after more than a dozen law enforcement vehicles, blue lights flashing, followed Smith's car. So it sounds like the cops shot a baby. Not confirmed, but it sounds like the cops shot a baby. Yeah. Columbia Anon got audio uploaded. All right. I was looking at the happenings side too. I just think you have to look at where power lies. Yeah, that's the general rule you should follow. There's no power in race intrinsically. Yeah, anything like racism has to operate through a system of power. Exactly. Didn't find anything on the deep web about what's been going on. Can't be found on the clear web. You mean in Colombia? Needing to hear the audio. Let me turn up the audio in Colombia real quick. Well, just because they're blocking shit on the clear web doesn't mean that the deep web is going to have good stuff. It might be just too hard to get stuff. Oh, here's Crimson King. Or King Crimson. Yeah. Yeah, it is necessary to strip legal rights from the underclasses if you want to like effectively control them. That's why that's always a part of the system. So that's Leo, is that audio from Columbia Anon? From what's going on locally. Alright, so this story is Asian Americans are developing anxiety disorders because of the whole thing with hate crimes attacking them. I mean, there's not really more to say about this. The article is like fleshing it out, but you get the idea. The mental health effect then may be even more pronounced than what has already been discussed. A study from last year analyzed nearly 8,000 people and found that 47% of white people reported no mental health symptoms compared to just 33% of Asian Americans. And with mental health already stigmatized inside the Asian American community, we reach a point where there are a large number of Asian Americans going through mental health concerns but haven't been able to seek professional support or confide in loved ones. Yeah. Now, burgers just love to hop from scapegoat to scapegoat to scapegoat. You know. We can't hate on black people anymore because of George Floyd. And that's that's too controversial now. It's too obviously racist. So now we're gonna hate on Asian people. That's basically what's going on. Alright. Alright, let's go to Article 2 on News Anon thread. Vaccine makers say IP waiver, intellectual property waiver, could hand technology to China and Russia. Oh no. Not China and Russia. Anything with China and Russia. Let's go. As industry lobbying has escalated in Washington, companies have warned in private meetings with U.S. trade and White House officials that giving up the intellectual property rights could allow China and Russia to exploit platforms such as mRNA, which could be used for other vaccines or even therapeutics for conditions such as cancer and heart problems in the future. We can't have these fucking commies in China and these definitely still fucking commies in Russia treating people's medical problems without AstraZeneca and Pfizer and company profiting off of it. We can't have people being healed of their ills without profiting. I mean, I'm not gonna read all of that, but we're at the point where people are literally making that argument. All right, 5 CPI Maoist militia members arrested in Bhadradi Kothagudem district. 5 militia members of the CPI Maoist from neighboring Chhattisgarh state were arrested by a combined squad of police and CRPF personnel in Kornapalli forest area in the Bhadradi Kothagudem district on Tuesday morning. From Red Spark. Strong rumors say that Duque could proclaim Estado de Conmoción, which would give him dictatorial powers. Yeah, like state of emergency kind of thing. Vaccines are probably all right. Let's not get into tinfoil posting about the vaccines. I mean, there might be problems with them. That's true, but there's a lot of people dying from this virus. Let's not get on this bandwagon of turning people off from seeking medical attention. It's reasonable to be skeptical, but let's not get paranoid. Eugene is not. I will let Eugene speak for himself, but I think Eugene's not really a communist, but is very anti-establishment and skeptical of the powers that be. But posts some pretty interesting stuff from time to time. Feel free to take it or leave it, I guess.
Sola
I'm only interested in scientific socialism and eco-socialism. Yeah, I'm pretty similarly oriented. Yeah, I think that's the direction we're headed to, Eugene, is either communism or a full rentier hellscape. Yeah. All right. Let's get through this article. It's very short. This is just like a brief. 5 CPI Maoist militia members arrested in Bhadradi, Kothagudem district. Bhadradi, Kothagudem district, May 5th, 2021. 5 militia members of the CPI Maoists from neighboring Chhattisgarh state were arrested by a combined squad of police and CRPF personnel in Kurnapalli forest area in Bhadradi, Kothagudem district on Tuesday morning. Police said the arrested militia members were tasked by the Maoist party to conduct a razzia on the movement of combining parties in remote forest fringe villages across the Telangana-Chhattisgarh border. The arrested CPI Maoist militia members hail from Nimalagudem, the village in Chhattisgarh's Sukhma district. They were allegedly involved in subversive activities along with local militia members of the Maoist party on the border villages, including Chinnapurnam and Badigudem. So there's still some conflict going on over in that part of India. The owning classes to extract rent is too obvious for capitalism to persist as anything but the rentier economy where vast majority of humanity owns nothing and is systematically denied anything of their own. The problem with like a rentier-based economy is it's not a production-based economy, and the rate of profit would eventually collapse. Or not even eventually, but pretty quickly collapse. You do need to have like some kind of production going on in order for profit to be possible. If you just rent, you can't really extract resources effectively. Like, you need to have production-oriented economics to survive long term. I don't see that as like an unreasonable thing that the capitalist class might try, but it's not going to work. And it's taken away people's homes for decades now, but every crooked mechanism imaginable. I mean, like, rent-seeking behavior is a real problem. It might end up being like a serious drawback because it's too strongly incentivized currently, and it's something that they won't be disincentivized from doing because the short-term benefit's so big. But even though there's like a big long-term drawback, but you couldn't structure the economy around rent. It just wouldn't work. The real dystopia is Elon Musk sending billionaires to space. There's just not enough profit there, though. Too expensive. I mean, like, maybe at some point you could turn a profit through space travel, but it's just too risky, too expensive with the overhead and upfront costs for it to really be plausible for somebody like Elon Musk to profit off of it. I don't have a crystal ball to see how this... Yeah, that's true. We're all, at best, doing an educated guess. That's very true, Eugene. Martian mansion for billionaires. I don't know why you would make a Martian mansion for billionaires when you can do that on Earth, and it's way less difficult. All right, what's next? 2 former British soldiers acquitted of murdering IRA leader Joe McCann after trial collapses due to inadmissible evidence. Jesus Christ. Alright, I don't think I need to read that one. That's just like more fucking bullshit. Germany bans a Salafist NGO. The German government has banned a Salafist non-governmental organization called Ansar, accused of financing Islamic terrorism under the cover of humanitarian aid. German police raided the organization's offices across the country. Yeah, this is Mongolian. The Tuvan International by Cristobal. Let me copy I'll post the link in chat. Actually, I'm gonna save this to my regular playlist because throat singing is fucking cool as shit. That's the link to the YouTube video. Actually, I'll post that in Twitch too, tell you what. There's the link in Twitch for anybody who's curious. Pro tip, don't try to learn the throat singing stuff because it's so difficult you get throat damage. It would be really cool to be able, because like, so if you don't know, the throat singing thing is like you're using 2 different parts of your throat to sing 2 different pitches and harmonize with yourself. And it's really difficult to do. I don't know how they do it exactly, but that's like the idea of it. Which is like, to be able to sing 2 pitches at once is like pretty nuts. It's pretty wild that somebody figured out how to do that. Germany had over 44,000 politically motivated crimes in 2020. Slightly more than half of the political crimes, around 23,604, are right-wing motivated. Seehofer stressed that right-wing extremism was the greatest threat to security in our country because most racist crimes are committed from this spectrum. Given Germany's history, this development was very worrying and deeply shameful. So Germany's possibly getting more right-wing. Far-right could enter government after conservatives fall short of majority in Madrid. Well, Latin America is, well, South America is doing pretty good, but Spain isn't doing so good. You have to learn it since you're the throat singing. You have to learn it since you're a little kid so that your body actually becomes used to it. Yeah. Apparently, snipers were spotted in rooftops in Cali, Wait, California? Or do you mean Cali, like, Cali, Bogota? I mean, Bogota. Cali, Colombia. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, snipers in California would be really wild. Siberian tribes equals North American natives. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a very similar sort of situation. There's always, pretty much anywhere but Antarctica, there's been people living there for a very, very long time. And people who are trying to, like, come in and claim control over the area are colonizing them, basically. Yeah, if it was California, that would be insane. We got snipers in California. Yeah, Spain's not doing so good. Clashes in Jerusalem ahead of court case on Palestinians' eviction. Thursday's hearing at Israel's Supreme Court may decide if the evictions ordered by a lower court are upheld or if the handful of Palestinian families can appeal. Human rights campaigners say that if the Palestinians lose the court battle, it could set a precedent for dozens of other homes in the area. I'm gonna guess that they're gonna lose, and it's gonna set a precedent for dozens of other homes in the area. And we already saw a bunch of shit from Israel-Palestine. I think we'll pass on that today. I don't want to get really depressed from reading about that right now. Myanmar's anti-coup government establishes the People's Defense Force to protect civilians from army. That's a twist. In a statement released on Wednesday, Myanmar's National Unity Government, a group claiming to be the legitimate rulers of the country, said its new force aims to protect its supporters from violence instigated by the army. That would be interesting. Azerbaijan accused of war crimes after execution of Armenian prisoners. The Armenian soldiers were taken, and yeah, this ties into the story the other day about Biden supporting Azerbaijan's stuff with Armenia being like a continuation of the Armenian genocide, basically. And Biden recognizing the Armenian genocide seeming to be like, you know, a bunch of liberal posturing to enable them to go and do this, like, continuation of that kind of violence. God. No, it's not happening in California. Cali is a city in Colombia. Oh, somebody just mistyped in the chat, California. Alright, I'm gonna really quickly go get some water because I'm very thirsty. I'll come back and I'll read the stuff about Myanmar because that sounds very interesting. I'll be right back.
Auf der Wand steht zu Land und zu sehen. В русской армии герой, понятно, без подсказки. А если нет, совет такой, перечитайте сказки. Кто суп варил из топора, чертей не раз морочил, такого жара им давал, проверьте, кто захочет раз-два. Раз-два. Голая голова, раз-два. Раз-два. Испугаешь черта с два, раз-два. Раз-два. Погибал в бою 100 крат, раз-два. Раз-два. Бей, солдат! Солдат пушки, прапоре петушки, а кто ваши деды? Ваши деды, славные победы, вот наши деды. Покон стучат сердца девчат, понятно, без подсказки. А если нет, совет такой.
I might have had a little bit too much to drink. Alright. Yeah, I'm tequila gang. Alright. Alright, so what's up with Myanmar? What the fuck is this music? Red Army Choir, chant of a Russian soldier, Premier Rick Latietko. Alright, we'll keep posting music. Excel 3V.
Он всех прочней построит дом и землю лучше спашет, а если вступит в бой с врагом...
Posted Twitter screening of the military buildup again, very shady. Only real leftist. 1,000 soldiers arrived in Cali yesterday. Today we continue to see looting of gas stations, supermarkets, warehouses without any problem. At night, soldiers go out into the neighborhoods and Saiyajins hit Vegeta. What? Sounds like some Dragon Ball Z shit. Next day, the trail of blood's unwashable. That's not a joke post. It just happens to sound like. Where did the tab go? Oh, I dragged it here actually. Okay. 1,000 soldiers arrived in Cali yesterday. Today we continue to see looting at gas stations, supermarket, warehouse without any problem. At night, soldiers go out to neighborhoods like Saiyajins to Vegeta. Next day, the trail of blood's unwatchable. From a local tweeter, I guess. Stream down? Is it? Oh, that's from somebody on the Happily stream. Fuck. We should become polyglot. Yeah. Being able to speak multiple languages is definitely good. Wait, cue up that song. I keep opening the Happening stream thinking that it's, really need to try and learn another language than English. Yeah, definitely. Spanish is probably the number 2 language to learn because of, like, based on the number of people who speak. After that, I don't know, maybe Chinese or Arabic. I forget what the rankings are for the number of people who speak the different languages in the world. Shit, I forgot that the fucking mic was way away from my face. Probably sounded like shit for a second there. Esperanto is kind of a meme. It's very Eurocentric in the way that it's constructed. So it's not a great universal language. Alright. I think the music might have been loud partly because I was fucking had the mic away from my face. Sorry about that. I think I saw that yesterday. Alright. Alright, so what's up in Myanmar? Myanmar's anti-coup government establishes the People's Defense Force to protect civilians from army. Myanmar's National Unity Government has said that it is setting up the People's Defense Force, a precursor to a federal union army, which will protect its supporters from attacks by the ruling military junta. In a statement released on Wednesday, Myanmar's National Unity Government, a group claiming to be the legitimate rulers of the country, said its new force aimed to protect its supporters from violence instigated by the army. The anti-coup government said it had a responsibility to make effective reforms in the security sector in order to terminate the 70-year-long civil war. According to the statement, the People's Defense Force is a precursor to the Federal Union Army. Another story from Russia Today. Myanmar's ethnic rebels shoot down a military helicopter as anti-coup protests continue. The National Unity Government was formed last month by those in opposition to army rule, including imprisoned former leader Aung San Suu Kyi. The group has pledged to build a federal democratic union, ending the violence and restoring democracy. The country has witnessed large-scale daily protests since an elected government led by Suu Kyi was overthrown by the military on February 1st. The Assistance Association for Political Prisoners claims that 766 people have been killed in the violence, with security forces taking a heavy-handed approach to dealing with popular protest movements. The country had been under the control of the military from 1962, before the army gave its backing to democracy a decade ago. Alright, I'll cue up that music. Alright. There, now I'm in the right window. Alright. Time is it? 9? Alright, I might have to call it a night soon. I'm getting a little... I started pretty early today. I've been going for 5.5 hours about. I'll finish up News and Anon's thread, or the post. Yeah. Azerbaijan accused of war crimes after executing of Armenian prisoners. The Armenian soldiers were taken as prisoners last year during the 6-week war over the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region, a landlocked majority Armenian territory inside Azerbaijan. The bitter conflict saw accusation of war crimes such as the beheading of civilians by Azeri troops. Alright, well that stream is over, so I guess we'll close that. Okay, cool. Yeah, feel free to post a link to your stream. Yeah, I think I am going to call it a night, actually. It's 9 o'clock where I am. And I drank a little more than I probably should have. So, I need to lie down for a bit. I'll just blast through the last headlines here. U.S. seen as a bigger threat to democracy than Russia or China, global poll finds, of course. Vienna nuclear talks hit a snag over Iran's centrifuges. Russia pushing for release of secret FBI files on Black Panther Fred Hampton's killing in Chicago. Or no, Rush pushing for it. Senator State Representative Bobby Rush of Illinois. Hold on a second. I need to take my mask off for a second. My face is getting really hot. Jesus. Man, it is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy how hot it gets under all these lights. Whew. Oh. Alright, I'm calling it. I'm not gonna die, I'm just really hot. It's really hot in here. Everybody go check out the B-side too. I think I'm gonna go lie down. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to agitate, educate, and organize.
That's all, folks.